Hey, there we are.
Ryan Pearson here with Jason Flory on Turn to Talk, the Jason Flory.
Yeah. Listen, I probably get tarred and feathered because Mother Nature's a pain in the you know what. So people blame me, but yeah, what a weird way, right? We're how many weeks have we been doing Turn to Talk, Ryan? Just 9 weeks?
This is, I think, episode 10.
Episode 10. So 10 weeks of doing this has made time fly, and can you believe we've rained out every single Saturday? Is this show bad luck, Ryan?
We might have to cancel the show.
No, I was thinking we'd get like a somebody come in here and bless this place, maybe, or we get those ghost hunters come in there and cleanse it of the evil spirits.
It's like we said, whatever we're doing, we need to do the opposite.
Yeah, I do believe. Like you were just talking about Chuck there a couple weeks ago. You're like, man, Chuck will be proud. You put a picture of like Thrills on Wheels, and it was a cool photo, right? Nostalgia for sure. And then like
we were just off of such a good show.
Chuck is the one, boom. So, but hey, listen, some breaking news.
Breaking news? Wait a minute.
Breaking news, right?
Like we got breaking news?
Breaking news.
Let's see if...
do you have something for breaking news?
I might have something.
Yeah, I hope you do. Something cool. I guess that's close for breaking news. I'll have to research that, but it's Heavenly Angels is what it sounded like to me.
Oh.
Yes, so breaking news, folks. So if you've been on Wayne County Speedway's Facebook page today, we put a little thing out there. Listen, lots of rainouts. I know yesterday everybody was like beating the drum for race today, race on Sunday. Well, that's not easy. That's not possible all the time. And there's a lot of stuff that goes into that, just to let you know. We can't just do that. And it has to make financial sense. And I don't think booking a show less than 24 hours out doesn't make much sense. We talked last Wednesday about maybe doing Sunday, and we just didn't. The weather was too iffy. We thought maybe we could get it in. But anyway, the breaking news is we will be racing Saturday and Sunday this week at Wayne County Speedway. So Saturday will be super late models, modifieds, mini stocks, and super stocks. And then Sunday will be the Rick Susong Memorial All-Star Circuit of Champions Sprint Cars will be in the house for their first event for the year, along with the modifieds, super stocks, and compacts. So we're going to double down this week. So Memorial Day weekend, double down at Wayne County Speedway. Going to kick it off for the 61st season. We're going to do it upright. So it looks like there's a lot of support. We put a thing out today, Ryan, and no bad news. I mean, I know looking at the weather, there's a lot of people on there going, oh, it's supposed to rain anyway. We got to get rid of the bad vibes, though. So we're 7 days out. Don't look at the weather. The weather isn't worth looking at until Wednesday, and then you'll know. But hey, we're going to schedule it. If it doesn't rain, we're going to run it. If it rains, and you know what? We tried. Right now, it's not on the schedule. So do me a favor, folks. Share it. Spread the word. The flyer is going to come out. I think Ryan has the flyer right now. I think Ryan can put the flyer on the screen right now for you can see it. Do you have it like handy?
I do not.
Well, then go to Wayne County Speedway's Facebook page, because I think it'll be on there in the next 10 or 15 minutes. But I wanted the breaking news right here on Turn 2 Talk. So we will be racing next Saturday and Sunday. We don't do very many back-to-back races at Wayne County, and a lot went into this decision because we're racing Sunday already, and then we come back on Thursday for the World of Outlaw Lone Wolf 40. And so that's a lot to do in a short period of time, but it just seemed like there was a lot of interest in doing it this weekend. And, man, 7 or 8 rainouts in a row. I'm not a fan of knocking the lid off this style, but I think people are itching to go racing. What's your thoughts?
Listen, it's if you don't race, and it's sitting there, it's not not doing anything,
right? And
so it's just been such a bad spring. Now we're starting to get into summer, and you've got to race. Listen, I look at the things. I was like, hey, Monday night. What are you doing Monday night? Let's just schedule a race. Thursday, it looks nice. Let's schedule a race because it's you got to get them in. It's almost like you got to get them in when you can.
Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal. It's a week out. I think we can do it. I've seen a lot of racers get on board today. Like Ryan Markham was on there posting on his page to share it and get people on board. That's nice of Ryan, but not just him. There's a lot of racers that were like, man, they were texting me like, let's do it. But there's a lot of factors that go into it. The economy, running 3 races in 5 days or something like that, and trying to do an efficient show on Saturday. That's a lot of work for our staff. coming through a holiday weekend, so there's a lot of gambles, but I need everybody's support to make it work. I think it can. We're going to promote the crap out of it this week, and all I ask is I'd like to see the shares up big time. And, feel free to comment on this show. Hey, AJ. Hi, Ryan and Jason. That's AJ Ballas. Is that what they say?
Yeah, it's AJ Bayless. What's going on, AJ?
Yeah, it caught me off guard. I was looking down there, and it caught me off. Somebody, pull that back. Pull that back. What do you say about the weather? Fat boy racing. Oh, man, don't say that. Listen, I hate Ohio, too, but come on, man. Leathers, let's go. We're going to race next weekend, dude. We got 2 chances, so we can't get bummed out on both chances. It's too early. But so there's your breaking news. I hope it works. Listen, I need everybody's support. Pork Chop's on here saying the announcement's posted, so we'll be back at the end of the show. We've got some people coming on. Ryan's got some really good guests tonight to talk to about some sprint car racing. But then at the end, if you guys have any comments or concerns or questions about what we're going to do next weekend, feel free. But the Facebook page has the ad posted, and there's a break. If you want to buy a 2-day general admission pass, there's a break there too. So we are selling 2-day passes. Listen, I know it's been a crappy spring, and nobody hates it more than me. So this is my way of trying to rectify a little bit of there's a chance we can sneak one in, and so we're gonna try. And I don't normally do this, but man, it's just been a crappy start. I know it's not what we want to plan for, and I know I'm giving people a week, and that's not. Some people were already scheduled to do other things, but I appreciate the support.
A couple questions I have is what's going to go into your track prep and track work, flipping the track from a Saturday to a Sunday, and then the second day being the All-Stars.
Yeah, that's a concern for me. Hopefully we get out of there early enough on Saturday, and there's a lot of work that goes into a 2-day show. But we haven't had any racing, so we really need a show to get the track needed in. Does that make sense to you? We need a race to see what we have. Our track looks good. We've only had one practice, and our water truck was broke. We've had some private testing going on there. Obviously, congratulations to Emma Markham. She made her start this weekend. I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But
you had a sprint car there the other day.
Yeah, we've had sprint cars, but we haven't had a real race-prepped racetrack yet this season. So it's gonna be a lot of work. I'll be honest with you. I'm not really excited about that part of it because it's a lot that goes into it. But I feel like a business move is there's a lot of interest in it. And with the amount of rainouts, and I know people don't want to talk dollars and cents, but we've got to try to get some money rolling through the facility, get some use out of it, and kind of gain some momentum. We don't even know where we're going to be this year, but I feel like the momentum's there. We just need to seize it. And we're going into a really good stretch of big-time races with us. So if we could race Saturday, hit the All-Star race for the Rick Susong Memorial on Sunday, and then come back with that Lone Wolf 40 on Thursday, that's a really good stretch of some high. You're on Flow on Sunday night. You're on Dirt Vision on Thursday night. So I feel like trying to get one in early. 2 things: we haven't raced, and people are hungry to race. 2 is we need to try out our new telemetry system, work the bugs out of our system, and make sure that we're ready to go.
Yeah, I'd heard the All Stars. 2 of their races this year were first. I think it was at Attica and is it Millstream? Did Millstream run? No. Attica and somewhere else. It was their first races for the years, and so 3, potentially 3 of their races were going to be first for the tracks.
First race for the track, and that's not good. You want to get a practice in. You want to have some time on the track, especially as much work as we did with changing lots of things. I would feel more comfortable if we were 3 or 4 shows in before we bring in these big sanctioning groups, but we'll make it. Yes. So as far as points go, listen, you can throw the points out at this point. Yes, points count every race at Wayne County. We're not sure where we stand on that. If we lose, let's just say we lose this weekend to Saturday. Say it rains. Everybody talks about rain, but I'm just going to throw it out there. We're on the verge of bailing on points this year already because we're almost to mid-season. If we lose another weekend or 2, we got special events lined up. We could lose all the way to mid-season. So please don't. I'm serious. Don't ask me about points because there's no tire money coming in because it's based on tire sales and races, and so that's how I pay it. And so we'll worry about the points and we'll see what happens at the end of the season. But yes, I just want you there Saturday. If the point fund is what brings you there, then you're probably not coming anyway, right? So you want to race, we're going to race, and if it rains, we won't. So that's where I'm at. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm just man, we just want to get some races. I want to see some cars go in circles. the excitement's there, Ryan. The build up is it's kind of losing the build up on my end because we get up and then we got to get down. We got to get up and we get down, and like I just want to get up and stay up and get rolling. This is a good weekend to really have a double done.
Yeah. There was a lot of comments about wanting to race today.
Yeah.
And like you had talked about it. I mean, you had talked about it on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you were deciding, I think, midweek, and so like it was something that was on your mind.
Yeah, but it just didn't. The weather was too iffy at that point. Like Sundays are rough, so there's a lot goes into more than Sundays and just hey, let's race on Sunday. Like and I won't go into details, but it's not an easy decision. Saturday's an easier decision for me. To add a Saturday is a lot easier than a Sunday.
Yeah.
And then when you look at what's going on that weekend, it's there's a strategic point to it. It's not just like I roll the dice and go, I'm just going to race because I want to race. I mean, there's a lot more goes into it, but also I will tell you this. So we're going to stick with it. Breaking news is that we are racing on Saturday and Sunday next week. So check out Wayne County Speedway on the Facebook page. If you got any comments or concerns, check us out at the end of the show. We'll be free to answer all your questions, comments, or concerns. But Ryan's got some really cool people lined up, and I think we're getting ready to bring one of them on now. So I'm excited.
Looks like he's getting ready. And he's on the road. We're going to bring Cale Thomas in. Hang on.
He's on the road. Yes,
hey, guys.
Is. Hey, Cale, how are you?
Good. Sorry, I got everything got pushed back today. You know how it is. So I'm doing this mobile today. So hope that's all right.
Yeah, hands-free driving, I hope.
Yeah, I'm not driving. I got a chauffeur right now, so.
Let's go.
Cale, you're a sprint car guy. You can multitask, you know?
Oh, yeah, I could do it, but no, it'll be easier to answer your guys' questions and, have some fun.
All right, first of all, I want to know, what did you shoot today?
Ooh, not good. And then halfway through, we turned into a scramble so that I wouldn't miss this. So I was contributing a little bit to the scramble part, but, you try to get out here as much as possible. But I think actually golf is, a lot mental game. And so I think it does help with the racing, honestly, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, I love to play golf too. 4-man scramble is my favorite. But, hey, the season's been a little bit crappy for everybody. And I know with the All-Stars, they've lost a few to rain, but you got a couple in. What's your schedule look like this year? Are you just All-Star guy this year, or are you going to bounce around, hit some of them bigger shows as they come through the area?
Yeah, we'll be bouncing around. I mean, we were ready for outlaw stuff at Attica and Sharon. Unfortunately, they rained out. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we ran it was a all-star high limit show, but if a high limit comes, we'll be there. And unfortunately, we weren't at Eldora this weekend due to we had some motor stuff happen. So just hated to miss that. But yeah, definitely the Kings Royals on our marker, high limit at Fremont, probably the Outlaws at Attica. All the big shows at Wayne County, I think, are all-star shows. So, yes. I think we want to run the Tuscarora 50 and then possibly the Knoxville Nationals as well.
Wow. Let's go.
Yeah.
Cale, you've been off to such a good start. You're on fire. What has it been for this year? Like, what have you found, or like, what is it? What's your secret?
I think first off is I've kind of been honestly doing it a while. So it's just a lot of repetition and being at the racetracks and just kind of, getting that feel I like. And I think also the second part is being with a team and not like switching teams. It's not that I have trouble doing that. I've hopped in race cars and set quick time before at a high limit show with a team I've never even been with before. But it's just one of those deals where you get into a rhythm and comfortable with everything, and you get this camaraderie. I can't even speak. But this brotherhood of you're just comfy. And so like we just start off the year at Attica and Fremont, two places where I have multiple wins at, and you do what needs to be done and put yourself in position, and that's how wins fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were able to get those early wins, and then you had the good run at Kokomo as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've set quick time at Kokomo with high limit. I've been there that was probably my 5th time at Kokomo ever, so not a lot. It's not like it's my, like, even though it's in Indiana, they don't race local sprint cars there. So I have as many races as the outlaw guys or the high limit guys every year, once a year. So it's cool to have success. I traveled my whole life really, and even in my family car, we always tried to travel. So I'm just used to being able to show up to places and having speed and having success.
That's nice. Hey, when you come to Wayne County, I know you say Attica and Fremont a lot, but you've had some success at my place. Do you approach it any different? Is my place a lot different than the tracks you go to? Or, I hear lots of people say, oh, you got to be top dominant at Wayne County. You got to do this, you got to do that. Do you approach it different? Do you drive it different? Or is it all the same to you, just a circle and it doesn't matter where you go?
I treat every place like, you treat it a little differently. I mean, definitely, setup and a little bit mindset, but definitely like a place like Wayne County, you have to respect sprint cars in general, no matter where you go. But specifically, if you're speaking Wayne County from Attica and Fremont, like, Wayne County can bite you. It's a very physically demanding place. You're putting yourself on the line every lap when you're running the top there. And, I've been out of the park there before, and it doesn't feel good. So, but it's one of those places where you have to have a lot of physical strength. You have to have a lot of mental as well. When it is top dominant, I mean, your whole body mental flow has to be, perfect lap after lap, corner after corner. And that's one of the reasons why I do love that place. I actually really love Wayne County.
Yeah, when you think about that, like we tried to widen it to make the bottom better or whatever, but I mean, as far as fast goes, like, so that's my next question. You say you really like it. Like some people, it's a love or hate relationship with it because it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I think people buy a ticket to see the fastest cars or the most daredevil. It's a show, right? For me as a promoter, it's the most daredevil. So like running the top, that risk of being, like you say, out of the ballpark or whatever, do you think that's good or bad for sprint car racing? Do you think that's a good show, or do you think you'd like to see it slow down and be more 5 or 6 grooves?
With a place like Wayne County, I don't think you'd have to make some big changes. I feel like to make it like slow down, like, and have full range a little bit. The changes you guys made now, it definitely has made it more lanes. But then obviously, I don't mind it. I need to get better at it still. I'm having trouble with it. I was just really good with the old flavor of like everyone had to be on the top. You had to get on someone's butt and throw just a mega slider. Now it's like you can kind of throw a slider whenever, really. Like in 1 and 2 especially, it's so wide. You really just kind of skate across the bottom and you just kind of pop up down the straightaway in front of somebody, which is fine. I just need to get some feeling, a different feel now that I didn't have before. But I loved the before though. Like I loved that. Just I mean, when you get to lap traffic, those guys are on the top too, and that's super fun. Like sliding lap cars, because then now and other tracks too is like even when it's top dominant, usually the lap cars are on the bottom. Well, Wayne County, usually the lap cars are still on the top, and it's just super fun, and like you're throwing bombs and sliding across and and then. But it's cool now. I like it now too. It's just I got to figure it out now.
All right.
Cale, let's go back to the beginning when you started racing. Like what did you start in? Like midgets, quarter midgets, go karts, anything like that?
Started in quarter midgets when I was 5, and then I actually quit for 4 years. I got into a wreck with a kid, and I think he flipped, and I was scared to death. Like I thought I hurt him, and he was fine, and he was actually laughing about it. But I guess it scared me, and I actually stepped away for a while. But then I was like in the 3rd grade, and one of my friends said that he raced quarter midgets, and then I came home one day and said, "Hey, I want to race again." And so we started racing again, and ran quarter midgets for about like 4 years, and then I got into a micro sprint, a 600 micro when I was 12/13, and then Ran those for about 2000, a little bit to the end of 2011, 2012, and then 13. So 2 years. And then in 2014, when I was 16, I got into a full size sprint car, and I've been racing sprint cars ever since.
Yeah, I remember you showed up to the first time at Wayne County Speedway just in the family car, and chit-chatted with you then. And, you were just like, I love this place. It was very early on. Me and you were talking in the pits, and you were like, I just love this place.
Yeah, the first time it's changed completely now. I loved it then too. I probably I didn't know what I was doing, but I think I made my first All-Star show and went forward in the feature. It actually took rubber. I mean, I don't think Wayne County's taken rubber since, but it actually took rubber that night, so that was different. And yeah, I think I ended up like 14th or something. So I think there was like 50 cars or something. It was insane. There was tons of people there. So yeah, I've always had a special, Wayne County's had a special place in my heart for sure. So it was cool like 2 years ago to finally win the Pete Jacobs Memorial and stuff.
Yeah, that's our crown jewel, and so that's what I was leading to. So all the success and you've had, that's a crown jewel. We've trying to make that bigger and bigger but with the All-Stars coming back, my question to you is, with Rich Farmer last year bringing the All-Stars back after a couple of years it was off, and then this year he's grown it even more. What do you think of the status of the All-Stars, and what's your feelings of the state of the sport of just sprint car in general? We've been a couple years with the big split between High Limit and World of Outlaws, and then now Rich is bringing the All-Stars back, and I think it looks really strong this year. What's your status of just the sport in general?
I think there's a lot of regional series now, sprouting back up. I think it was good to have that time off, and then because there really wasn't anyone to fill the void, but then it gave us a couple years, I feel like, for teams like we do now with the All-Stars to race for a couple years and be like, all right, we want something, but we don't want to commit to a national schedule. And he really has kind of reset the thought process of what the All-Stars was. It was like a mini High Limit series before when it was All-Stars, but now it's kind of reset, and it's, kind of like a working man series now. So it's definitely, it's not that big of a schedule. It's like 33 races, and, you don't travel too far. You go to one Pennsylvania weekend. You don't go do the Iowa, South Dakota swing anymore. And you travel outside of Ohio a couple weekends, but the main bulk of it is in Ohio, and I think that helps a lot of teams be able to do that work during the week and then take off for these race weekends. So definitely All-Stars is a good thing. Got tons of new people that have never traveled before or travel a little bit less, so allows those guys to do that, and then it allows someone like me who obviously me and the team, want to be on a national level, but maybe not in a position to do that yet, and allows us to try to hone in our skills to, look forward and try to get sponsorship to do that. And, that's the goal, is to go race the Outlaws at High Limit. And I think so far, I don't know, you can obviously get into the logistics of how it's affecting local racing or the streaming, but I think if you're a driver like me and you do it for a living, all of this is a good thing. You make more money. So if you drive for a living, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember when the split happened, and then it's like there's going to be more teams that have an opportunity for bigger paydays, and so then that's a trickle down. That's a trickle down effect for everybody, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the All-Stars are paying more than they ever have. We have all these big races that have nothing to do with the High Limit and World of Outlaw series. Even local racing in general, they're paying better and better. The AFCS is doing awesome stuff. Then you have the PA Posse series, whether you want to count that as regional or local. It just depends on how you look at it. And it's I just feel like everything's kind of floating up. The streaming is just interesting. I don't know how that, affects the fan base that goes. every weekend, but I think there's something to be had and figured out where I feel like it is helping everyone. Maybe some aspects it's not, but for the most part, it's at least, we're trying, right? I mean, I feel like everyone's trying to get better, and, there's podcasts like this that Wayne County Speedway is doing. So that's really cool. And, trying to promote the sport.
Cale, we had Ty Torg on. Torg owns Nick Hoffman's late model for the World of Outlaws, and he was talking a couple weeks ago. It cost those guys $600,000-$700,000 to get up and down the road. Like, what's the next step for you guys?
I've dabbled and asked people about what's it take to be on the Outlaws or be on the high limit. I'm not in the finances of my current team right now because I don't own the team, so I don't know exactly the ins and outs. I know they do everything they can for me right now and give me amazing equipment. I have top of the line stuff for even just a quote unquote regional series team. I mean, we have national level equipment, so it's the diesel bill, it's the hotel bill, it's the you're putting more nights on your motors. It multiplies. So obviously you just have to find more sponsorship, product sponsors. We have amazing partners that already help us, so that helps you in the long run as well. If you tear up equipment or you need more maintenance on equipment, from chassis to motors to at the end of the day, it depends on what you already own, but it seems like maintenance wise, as far as those things like diesel and stuff, I mean, you need 250,000 to 750,000. Where there's people all in between that range, it feels like. So it just kind of depends on how much do you want to spend, and how many people do you want, and how do you exactly want to do it.
Yeah, money makes the world go round. Racing isn't cheap, and it never has been. But hey, your goal obviously is to win this championship for the All Stars. I'm sure that's a good feather in your hat to move on to the next level. But like, we've got four All Star races at Wayne County this year, and so when you come to my place, do you feel confident when you get there? It's a lot of people come there and they're like, like you were there for a Speed Week show a couple years ago when it rained and there was kind of like that boycott going on. Was you part of that deal that year? Was you there that night? That Monday Speed Week?
We left.
You left? Oh, that's real nice. But I say this, like, so as a promoter, that's okay. Listen, as a promoter, like you want to raise the bar. You want to make, it's an entertainment business for me, right? So you look at the sport as, I'm a racer, and you're like, I need to make more money with streaming and all these things. But like, I believe this to be true. There's a disconnect between fans and drivers, and not your fault alone. But like, what do you think could be done to tighten that up between that? Like, there's a lot of fans that don't know the driver of the car they root for, and some drivers are not approachable. So do you feel like that the promoters should be doing more, or do you think it's a conjoined effort between me and you to be doing better?
I don't know. I want to say, I mean, what drivers aren't approachable? I feel like most drivers are approachable compared to NASCAR and Formula One. I mean, I feel like we're very approachable, but it just depends on when you're talking to us. Like, if I'm about to strap, someone was trying to talk to me when I was trying to strap in Tuesday, and it's just like, I'm watching the B main. It's a quick turnaround. It's about to rain. Like, I'm trying to talk to the team. Like, I'll smile, but like, I gotta focus. So it just kind of depends. Right. But as far as like overall, I don't know. I think some are trying to get into the social media, and that's a good way. But even then, it's just like, you put on this persona anyway, right? You don't really, people who know you, right? So like,
right.
Not that you act that much different, but it's different than being actual friends with somebody. So I don't know. I think more drivers are getting to the social media. I think anytime they're at the t-shirt trailer, obviously they're wanting to hang out with fans. So if they're there, then you can go talk to them, and a lot of drivers have hobbies outside of racing. So if you always, if you connect, heck, if you talk to me about golf or mountain biking or something 2 hours before race time, I'll shoot the shit with you, So I don't know. I've been wanting to do social media stuff. I have ideas, but at the same time, like there's some stuff I don't like about it, and sometimes I like giving my opinion about stuff, but sometimes it's just like I got enough stuff to worry about, or I got enough people bashing me about just driving in general. So why do I need to give my opinion and people not like me because of that or like me because of that? So it's just like, oh, I'll just show up and try to win and smile and, be a good person. And if people like me, then they like me.
Yeah, that's social media is a double-edged sword, right? So we use it to promote these podcasts, and you use it as well. But like, it's definitely given lots of people, fans, drivers, promoters, anybody with a voice with no face, and you can do a lot of stuff on social media. And that's what you say, you have an opinion, and then you start a thread where people just want to argue. And that's the stuff that racing really turns me down, is like when you're trying to do all these positive things and it doesn't go good, it seems like it's easy to find all the negative in anything we do anymore. And it kind of takes the life out of it for me.
Yeah, for sure. And then that's kind of what it comes down to. I've had things I kind of wanted to dabble in the racing social media side of things, and it's just like, it's just not worth it. I have enough things to worry about, real life in general, or even just racing in general. Racing's a tough sport on drivers and team members and car owners. It's just not. It's already tough. So why add to it? But there's a lot of good things about it too, though, for sure.
Yeah,
it's just.
I agree.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. So I think one thing that we've talked about is, you've asked drivers, sprint car guys, late model guys to take their cars behind the grandstands,
right?
And sometimes they don't want to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like that's one thing, like, but that's trying to incorporate where we can work together.
Yeah. So, Cale, like, would you be open? Like, so it seems like we do that on a weekly show, and it's different than when you're traveling, because I don't know what you did the night before, and you might have traveled 5 hours to get to the county, and you're tired and you got stuff to do. But like, how do you feel about putting a car on display and being open for like autographs and stuff before races? Or is that something that you're open to if time allows, or are you more of an after the races kind of guy?
Man, it literally depends. I think after is super cool, especially when you do good. It's really cool. It's just also really tough. We got 2 nights. We got to turn around the car. We got to go It's like late models are a little easier in that aspect. We go wash and we go back to the hotel. They stay at the track more. So it kind of depends. One thing that I enjoy, and it might be hard for a track to do some places or sometimes, but like Attica just did it Thursday, is after qualifying, they opened up the pits. And that's the easiest, most less stressful thing for me, because I sit right next to the car. We're still talking about getting the car ready. Fans are coming over, getting autograph signed. They didn't have to spend the money for a pit pass. And then after 30 minutes or however long it was, they're exiting the pits, and then they're gone. So then you did everything that, all the people that wanted to come see you saw you. Every person that wanted to see the car did. They saw the trailer, and it was still, light out, and, we're not trying to put the car up really fast, or I'm not trying to change. I'm all dressed up still, and they're telling me good job in qualifying, and so it's a lot of conversation pieces as well.
Okay, we got Cale Thomas on. This section is sponsored by Sinks Garage, Racing Diecast and Apparel. So appreciate you coming on, Cale. There's points, where you're leading the points, and you talked about getting a championship, and so you still got a long ways to go for that. But it sounds like there's been a shakeup in some of these drivers, in the All Stars. Like, what's going on?
It's a tough sport.
don't know like all the details, and I'm not asking you for all the scoop, but I was really surprised to see a shake up there in the top three, with the teams and the drivers.
Yeah. It's just the way it is sometimes. People have different opinions or whatever happens, and sometimes you just gotta, people split, and even when you're having a thing going. So I don't know. We'll have to see what's gonna happen with that team and that driver.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it, like, whatever it is, but I was just shocked. Like, that's, I think, the best way to say it. So now we talked about the Pete Jacobs Memorial, and we're going to have Trey on here in a little bit. Pete, the Jacobs family's been huge at Wayne County Speedway and building the track, and Kenny and Dean and all those guys. And then you won the Pete Jacobs Memorial. What did that race mean to you? I know you mentioned it a little bit, but like we didn't really. What did that mean to you?
It was huge, honestly. The Jacobs family is huge in the sport of sprint car racing, and it's kind of a regional crown jewel, and even the All-Stars crown jewel when they have it. So definitely cool to have that and have my name. I got to see who's won it in the past, and you got some amazing names who have won this race. So it's cool to have my name included. And even I think the year before I won it, I was in position to win it that year, and that's when I flipped out of the park. So it was definitely cool to get that redemption and to win it.
Yeah, there's a lot of that was a big race. It has been. We were going to try to get that bigger, and then we I think COVID came and it kind of stalled out a little bit. But we're building it up again to make it a real good crown jewel. But so I know you say you love coming there and stuff, but I ask everybody on the show that we do this, is just something for me. Like, if you had your chance to talk to me and get anything changed there, we've made some improvements probably since you've been there last, but is there any one thing at my place that you just don't like that you'd love to see changed, or something you see that could be better or different? If you had a magic wand and able to get me to do something, is there any one thing you do?
It's like, it's hard. I mean, everywhere has its, I love your guys' stands. That's one of my favorite things about that place, is out of all the tracks I go to, because you guys don't really have a pit stand, which is fine. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
You have that one off of turn 4, but I don't like sitting there because you get, I get really dirty. I can't see the whole track because 1 and 2 is so far down. I literally sit just before they go into turn 1 in the middle of the stands with all these fans around me, and some don't want to bother me. Some probably don't even know who I am. And then other people are like, they almost appreciate that I'm up there. So I think it's one of the coolest things that I love about Wayne County is sitting up there and being around fans and stuff. I think that's so cool. And when you sit there as a fan, I'm watching the track and watching, the cars, like whether it's the B main or whatever, but like it's, I'm a race fan too, right? At the end of the day. So it's really cool to, to see that side of things. But one thing that just kind of, it sucks if we have to race there, like on like a weekday, and you have all the classes, your pits it's just tight. It's just tight as a big sprint car rig. And so it's cool when, I know you have to have all those cool classes, and it's cool for the fans. It just sometimes I wish just there was an easier way to do the pits, like to get everyone in the pits in and out easier, or however there's a system or whatever. But I like when we do those big races, because I feel like maybe there's only one support class, so then you kind of just have all sprint cars lined up. It's just a tough place for sprint cars to be, and I'm scared of like hitting fans too that are walking in the pits when I'm trying to run, or or I have to pull it out of gear, and then it takes a while to get there. But I mean, that's just something little. I mean, that's not. I mean, what that's just, you asked me, so it's not even that big of a deal.
But we feel the same way. That's why, like on a Speed Week show, we don't run any or maybe just one support class, because some of the midweek shows, you want to get people in and out. And then you're right, sometimes you do have to add some support classes, but that is a hindrance. It is a small, older facility that owners around me won't squeeze up off any land. But yeah, no, it's always interesting to get your perspective, and I'm glad you're sitting in that stands, because I get a lot of comments where fans were like, "Man, you ain't gonna believe who was sitting in the stands," and not just you, but we get all these guys that like, "Man, he sat right next to me, and he's a cool guy," and that's an experience that they'll take on with them.
Yeah, that's I do that there. I do that at Wayne County. I do that at Atomic Speedway. There's a lot of cool places because you want to see the other side of the track, and the only way to do that is to sit in the stands with the fans.
Yeah, well, cool. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Cale, when you talk about the racetrack and the changes, Jason is trimmed a little bit off the top, not very much, but just a little bit, trying to make it not be as top dominant. How do you prepare for that?
My feel's changed. Obviously the way you drive it, I can't just you're a little uneasy more. I feel like now I'm less comfortable up there now. It's just not that it was easy before, but you lose that feel that I found when I was doing good and winning races and stuff up there. So I personally missed the dirt wall off of 2, because
Yeah.
I finally figured that thing out, and then it's like taken away now. So your car has to be really good off of 2 now to keep up with the bottom if you're going to run the top. So it's just one of those feel things. But at least at the end of the day, I feel like when I go out for qualifying, it still feels like old Wayne County to me. And you gotta drive your car as straight as possible, keep up your momentum, and put it on the wall. And that's my favorite thing about Wayne County.
Yeah, I think the qualifying, hearing you guys just flat-foot it and not lifting is the coolest thing.
Yeah, I've had success full throttling it, but I love when it just slows down that tick though, and where you do have to breathe it too. That's just as fun too, though. Honestly, going into turn 1 and you have that I'm gonna go that extra little inch, but still breathe that's fun too.
Yeah, so you're that racer. So there's a lot. So, when I come into doing the track and stuff, you get a lot of input from a lot of different drivers. Some of them guys want that, roll out of the gas, roll that bottom, and then throttle up and drag race off the corner. But as a fan and as a show, I think there's nothing better than qualifying, because it's going to be the fastest it is all night. And when you're out there at 2 or 3 at a time, the fans can hear the engine. They can hear that right rear tire kind of scrunching down. And I think that's the cool thing. Does that get your adrenaline running? And what's the top 3 racetracks when qualifying comes that you feel are the sketchiest, or where you got to run against the wall? Do we make the cut?
Oh my gosh. You know how many times, both heat races and qualifying, I've gotten out and I'm screaming. I'm like, let's go, let's go. And I'm just like, let's do this. And oh my gosh, that was a ripper. Let's go. And I get so pumped. I get so psyched. Qualifying even. So definitely Wayne County, Atomic Speedway, I get that same feeling. So, obviously they're not shaped exactly alike, but the top is very, you're putting
Similar.
yourself on the line there. And I don't know, Port Royal a little bit, Port Royal vibes, you're on the wall. And actually my last year when I set quick time with high limit at Tri-City in Illinois, if you go back and watch it, I told my dad, I was like, I need what we do at Wayne County. And from hot laps to qualifying, we did it, and we go set quick time with high limit. I mean, it was literally the same setup we run at Wayne County. So
that's awesome.
That place, that was a ripper. So that's on my social media. So I love watching that, and I enjoy that too.
Cale, we talked a little bit about with a couple other people about the safety of the sprint cars, and that's such a huge thing. Obviously we don't want any drivers in any divisions to get hurt. Racing is a dangerous, inherent dangerous sport, but it seems like some of these Tommy tip overs, and guys are, hurting their backs. What do you think is going on with the safety in the sprint cars?
It's very confusing. especially someone like me who I take my safety very seriously. But you listen to these people and you just get kind of confused, honestly, and you don't know what the right thing to do is. But at the end of the day, I feel like a seat insert is number one priority. I've had a Sharpley seat insert since I was 16, and I still back that and think those are good. And I don't run half my back. I run it all the way up my back as well. So it's poured all the way up my back. So I think that's very important too to me because it kind of blends in with my hybrid that's sitting on my back. And I think I feel pretty good with that combination. I have not ran those seat combinations yet. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here.
You there?
Hello. Sorry.
Yeah.
Am I back?
No, you're here.
All right. I don't run one of those seat chasms or the other one, the monkey bars. I've looked into it, and then the chasm's hard for someone like me who jumps in tons of race cars, different teams. I haven't had it, the same team for more than 2 years. So it's hard to justify asking them to cut their car up for me. I mean, maybe it'd help me keep a ride longer, but
That's funny.
I don't know. And then the monkey bars, I think you kind of got to you have to do a little something there too when you get those. So it's definitely hard to ask a car owner who spends all this money to, butcher their car essentially and do something that a lot of people don't have either. So like, should the team invest in it? But then maybe the driver doesn't want it. So it's like one of those things that's very difficult. And I just feel like we don't have enough information on, does this stuff help, or is it just because I still see people getting hurt with this stuff? Would they have got hurt worse? Is it saving them? I don't know. I've never hurt my back, and so I don't know. I've hurt my neck kind of before, and then I've had just really nasty concussions, blackout, life lighted stuff too. So I don't know. It's just like, are the seats too stiff? I don't know. I mean, that scares me, but at the same time, like at least I know if something happens to my chassis, I feel like my seat is gonna protect me, protect my head. So if something comes in my cockpit, I feel better about that.
Yeah.
Do you think that the NASCAR engineering and if that does that translate over to sprint cars?
I mean, they flip, I guess, but our suspension's so much different. I feel like it's like we have a drive line between our legs. Like I just don't know if you can really compare, and then how we sit. So it's just all different, really. I mean, Formula One guys are laying down, so we have this special niche like situation where what we don't have that much information, like at least electronically, right? Like we don't have like a lot of input give back systems, but I guess the Outlaws have been doing the G-force, checking wrecks, how hard, but what does that even mean? Like just because how hard you hit, like what does that even mean? Like you hit hard, so okay. Well, unless it has more information than I know about. But I just hope that, it costs a lot of money for these tests. So maybe I just feel like we need to be all more open. And I've seen, like the Chase Johnson thing, he was pretty open and did a video, but it's still confusing. So I don't know. I mean, I've had thoughts, and maybe this is wrong too. And there's people been getting hurt with the chasm, and I don't know about the monkey bars, but I know the chasm is like, just because it's a sponge or a puck, right? But once it compresses, are you hitting that much harder when it it's crushed? Like then you're hitting anyway. So then maybe just standing still was good too. I don't know. I don't have an answer. So but I also feel like I've heard tons of stories. People's been breaking their backs forever. Do we just hear about it more since we have social media? I mean, I know multiple people that I can rattle off right now that have broken their back, and it's just because social media wasn't around. So like, is it we're just hearing about it more, or those boys were tough back then? Maybe they just didn't care. Like that's just the way it is, Like, oh, my back hurts. You have a broken back, sir. Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, it healed. Oh, okay. So I mean, yeah.
Cale, Slide Job Podcast, Ryan, he's tuned in. He said, great show, fellas. Cale is a gasser.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I try. I try to rip the top at Wayne County and roll me some bottom at other places. So I try to do all the cool stuff.
Alex has a comment. He said, was Cale golfing?
Yes. I was trying to. Not good. I shouldn't quit yet. I shouldn't go PGA tour golfing yet and quit my racing job yet. So.
Jacob Horde says, Cale, if you win on Sunday, can I still get that cheeseburger?
Oh yeah, bud.
Jacob loves the Wayne County cheeseburgers.
So. I said I'll have one if I win, because I don't eat right before I race. So like every time I go to Wayne County, like I don't want to eat. So I always tell them, if I win, I'll go buy one right after the races. But I don't even know. Hopefully they'd be open for me.
We'll stay open for you if you win. But hey, you got a doubleheader weekend this weekend, so I look forward to seeing you Sunday. We'll have the thing ready to rip. Weather's turning around, finally getting some summertime weather around here, as you know. So we're excited for Sunday. You're a great draw for fans, and I appreciate you doing this, because it takes things like this to get the fans excited and get to know the guy behind the scene. And we appreciate you liking the place. I mean, it's not everybody's cup of tea. It's a young man's track, I think. I think the more the younger generation seems to like that, balls to the wall or up on the fence. But there is room to race the bottom. It's there if you want it. But you're definitely a good show and a good guy to watch.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, there's also a veteran aspect there. Honestly, like you got to have respect for that place. So definitely, you got to finish the race before you can finish first there. So definitely cool. Definitely love it. Definitely love the fans there. And I do feel like I have a pretty big fan base there. So it would be cool to finally get back there. And, last year, there, I was leading whatever race that was and blew my right rear tire when I was leading. So that really sucked. And heck, 2 years ago, I did the same thing. I mean, I wasn't even hitting the wall and I'm blowing tires. So hopefully, no blown tires, get up front, and have a good weekend. But it should be fun to get back there as an all-star. And we have a T-shirt trailer now, so hopefully some fans can check out my merch. And maybe if we have time, because we'll be at Mercer the night before, so maybe I'll try to see the fans at the T-shirt trailer. If not, hopefully I'm watching the B main or something in the stands and hanging out with fans.
Yeah, look for Cale Thomas down in turn 1, watching the B main, guys. Sit down turn 1 if you might get a chance to sit next to him.
Cale, do you have Fat Boy T-shirts for me?
What size is Fat Boy? I don't know what.
Like 4X? 3X?
Omar the tent builder didn't make you any shirts.
I have 3X. I think I might have old 4X stuff, like clearance 4X stuff. But
all right, we'll bring it with you.
Brian, stop it.
Scott says it was a great interview, Cale. You just got a new fan.
Thanks, Scott. I appreciate it.
Yep. So, yeah, well, I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to get some racing in. So we've made some improvements. So you'll check them out when you get there. You'll see a few things that are new, and we're not done. We just plugging along. So hopefully you like the things we've done. And, like I said, if you see something that you don't like or you see something that could be better, don't, always feel free to reach out to me, because I'm always willing to look and listen.
Cool, man. Yep. I appreciate you having that kind of attitude. That's really reassuring as a driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on, Cale. Jason and I were talking, and said what all-star guy could we have on, and you were my first and obvious choice, just because you've been so nice to me when I come down, and thank you for coming and stuff. And I was looking forward to this. This was one of the ones I circled on my show calendar to have. So, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry I wasn't all set up in my office and stuff, and but hopefully you guys could hear me and see me well, and put up with me. So I appreciate it.
It was good. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Cale.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
we'll see you soon.
Yep.
That's a good show. What time you got the next guest coming on?
Here in about 5 minutes.
All right. So a lot of knowledge there, especially in the safety aspect. He's up to date on what's going on with the safety stuff, and I like to hear their perspective of what goes on at my track, but I like to hear all the stories about where he goes other places and how he does things, and just the state of the sport. Like everybody always wants to, everybody's doom and gloom every year. Like, cost so much, what are we going to do? We can't afford to go racing anymore. And it's like, man, I've been hearing this shit for 20 years, right? And so I don't think it's getting any cheaper, but I think it's being smarter. I think the races do pay more. We're paying more than we've ever had on weekly stuff, right? And then when you get to split with High Limit and World of Outlaws, and then what Farmer's done with the All-Stars, and it's just getting kind of like there's so many different places to go, and I think its opportunities is good for guys like Cale, especially. He wants to be a professional on the tour, and I think the All-Stars is like minor league, and then like I feel like if he wins that championship, I think it'll open doors for him for sure. And I appreciate Rich bringing him All-Stars back to. I mean, we grew up at Wayne County with, we can go down through the list of the people that we're used to seeing. Dale Blaney there every week, an All-Star regular for my 15 years of running the racetrack, right? And so he's retired now, and just seeing a new group of Justin Peck was a big deal a couple years ago. Sunshine Courtney was
Tyler Courtney.
Yeah, he was. So we've seen these guys move on to High Limit and things. Now we're seeing the next group of people come through, and I think a sprint car racing looks about as healthy as any series or division out there, I think.
Yeah, and like you're right, you're absolutely right. And competition, only makes you stronger, in anything. If it's football, races, racing series, racetracks, whatever. But like that trickle down, so it makes it. There's more money for those teams that have split apart, and then there's going to be more money. And I found it interesting, like he kind of touched on it. About some of like the streaming money, and we heard from Torg,
right?
About the streaming money, and so like I would love to get somebody on who knows the backside of all that would be honest and talk about it. But obviously they're not going to talk about how much money that they're putting in their pockets.
All you have to do is, and this is just straight up, just look at what they're doing. Flo bought Lucas Oil 8 Mile Series. Flo is huge, and the dirt world is just pennies to them. They're huge. Now, Dirt Vision, I think you're seeing the points when you look at both series, the Outlaw Sprints and the Late Miles. I think Dirt Vision is a huge factor of them being able to raise the bar for them two divisions in-house through Dirt Vision. And I'll say it, and I'll say it like I always do. I think streaming service is great. I'm a hypocrite of it. I have both streaming services that I watch, but when it comes to Wayne County Speedway, like I'm leery about who's going to sit home and watch it versus come to the track, and that'll be the debate that I would go on and on with. But Sunday night you're going to be able to watch the All Stars on Flow, but I would really prefer you to come to Wayne County Speedway and watch it live, just because there's nothing like watching a live race either. So there really isn't. But I'm guilty of watching races on streaming, Ryan, that are not relatively close to my house, or I'm not sure if I'm too big a hypocrite, but I have. I mean, it's going to be questionable weather. It's this, and I'll catch on. So the promoter's got to be smarter. I tell you, this is the hardest time to be a promoter. Streaming service has made us all work harder to get a bigger fan base, and we're doing lots of things at Wayne County this year, more consistent in a bigger spectrum and broader area of advertising. And I checked out a billboard from Cooper Designs at the corner of Smucker and Apple Creek. You got the digital billboard with Wayne County, got sprint cars on it. It looks pretty cool. So, I mean, that's something new we're doing, and thanks to Cooper Design for partnering with Wayne County Speedway and offering the opportunity to get some stuff out there.
Where's it at again?
On Smucker and
Apple Creek?
In Apple Creek there at the intersection at the four-way stop. So sit there long enough, it rolls through the spiel, and you'll get to see Wayne County Speedway, and it's a pretty cool video. It's like an 8-second ad comes through there, so check it out. And so there'll be other places that's going to be up, but I think it's pretty cool.
I drive through there every day.
Yeah.
Hey, Slide Job Podcast has another comment. He said, Attica did a great thing. They opened up the pits and allowed fans to mingle in the pits. My daughter got to talk to Cale and sign a flag. I really love that experience.
Yeah, I like that.
We've done that.
We've done
on
that
regular shows. Now we've never done that on a big show. Like,
I'm probably more of a time sensitive guy on bigger shows, and so talking to him about what he really liked about doing that, I always feel like on the bigger shows on the fan side, we always get told like, we want to get in, we want to get out, we don't want to have a lot of support classes. Now I agree, Wayne County's pits are tight, and the haulers are getting bigger. But sometimes it takes those extra divisions to make that back gate money to make those shows go. And You know, there's a business side to all of it too, but I do like that he's open to the fans and stuff, because not all drivers are, and I think he's very personable. And I think, you know, there's somebody said he gained a fan, which is, I think, is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
He was always super nice to me when we would stop by and chit chat with him. Todd Gallion says, hope we get to see some fantastic racing this weekend. We will see if we can be ready. Depends on what goes on with Mary. Yeah. Hey, we're keeping Mary in our thoughts and prayers. Saw that she had a situation and taking her to the hospital. So, Todd, we're thinking about you guys.
We got somebody in the room?
Yes, sir.
Is the doorbell knocking? That's what you like to do. You going to do it? There it is. Trey, don't worry, man. It's off the rails all the time, so. Is he in? There he is. Hey, there's Trey. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm on stage, it says. So
yeah, you're live.
Right.
Yep, you made it. And so congratulations, you've made it this far now.
So, now.
Yeah. Oh, listen, we appreciate you coming on. We're talking about the All-Star race coming up on Sunday, the Rick Susong Memorial. Obviously, you've raced and won races at the county. Your family's a big part of why the county even exists. So, do you obviously get up more for the All-Star races than normal events, but I think you're kind of a guy that wants to win them all, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, hell, if we ever get to race over there. I mean, the weather's been crazy, so hopefully everything works out this weekend.
We're doing a home and garden show, I think, is the next thing on our list. We can't get rained out of that, so maybe we'll do that. No, I know the weather beats. Everybody gets on the weather train. It's like I can't control it, but we are looking forward. We just made it a doubleheader weekend. Actually, we added some stuff on Saturday for the classes that haven't been racing a long time or at all this year. So, are you going to make the trip to Mercer on Saturday?
I'm not sure yet what the plan is. I got to talk to the 28 guys and see. Sorry, the kid's raising hell, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna run my own car or the 28 car or what the plan is all weekend. I know we're probably gonna do Attica Friday, and then it'll either be Mercer or Fremont Saturday, and then Wayne County Sunday. I'm sure I'll be in the 28N car on Sunday for sure. I just gotta figure out the rest of the weekend. I junked one of my cars on Friday at Mansfield, so get another one put together and go from there.
Wow. Are you running the Triple X chassis? Is that what you're running?
Yeah, my car. We got a few Triple X cars, and I got an Eagle car that I'm planning on selling, but we got a little bit of everything. The 28N cars runs X1 chassis out of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So I'm one of the only guys on them. They're nice cars, but it's a little bit different.
Okay.
Yeah, Trey, I hate to see you have trouble the other night and junk one, so hate to see that.
Yeah, shit happens. Yeah, it's
Yes.
it was. I just didn't take the target off the side of my race car, I guess, before we went there because we were getting run over all over the place, but. That place was fun. Hopefully, they have some success. It's another racetrack close to home, so it was a good time while it lasts.
Yeah. Good time while it lasts. Yeah, well, that seems to be the up and down. So sprint car racing as a whole, we was talking to Cale Thomas earlier, and what do you think? You got a lot of history in the sport in your family and stuff. And when the split happened between High Limit and World of Outlaws, and then there wasn't an All-Stars for, a year or two. And so Farmer brings the All-Stars back. And, so you really got two national deals, and you got one really good regional deal. Then you got some smaller stuff going on. What is your take on the state of sprint car racing right now? Is there too many options, or do you think it's just about right?
I think that the split deal really screwed things up for a while, and I think Rich is trying to get it back to where it was. I'm not sure it's quite there yet. It's tough. It's tough to say.
Yeah.
I think the All-Star deal is all right. It's getting back, getting some money back around here. I think the Fast deal, whenever everything shut down, I think Aaron Fry had a golden opportunity with Fast, and I'm not quite sure why, but that didn't become what it could have. And then now the All-Stars are back, so I think it's all right on a lot of weekends, but some weekends you'll have there'll be an all-star race in Pennsylvania and a fast race in Indiana, and then you got AFCS at Attica and Fremont, and then you guys are racing, and then Sharon's racing, and it just kind of splits everything up. But I don't know. I don't know what to think. It's all right now. Like for the big money guys, I feel like there's a ton of money out there to win. But for the local and regional guys, I don't know. Got this wild animal running through here, but
running around there, man.
Yeah, but I don't know. I wish that there was just one big touring national deal and all them guys could be World of Outlaws, but
yeah,
it is what it is. We're hopefully whenever they come around, it's nice for us because then we get to race for a little more money. But the high limit deal just doesn't really come into Ohio much. I think they just have in Eldora.
Yeah, I think someday in my magic ball, I see all that coming back together. I don't know when, but I do see that verge. 10 years from now, I think maybe you and I'll be sitting here in the sport still. I think you'll see that come back around. I think history always repeats itself. But as your racing career, like it was cool. Like so, your dad not too long ago, your dad was running for McClure, and your dad had 2 championships in a row just like not that long ago, and then. You getting in the home car, and then you've had lots of opportunities too to race regional and local. But I think you're coming into your own. I mean, you're a family man now. You're married. You got kid. Like you've changed so much since I met you 15, 16 years ago. Like you're not the same guy. You're not the same race car driver either. So do you notice a difference in you, or did you just kind of plug along and it just goes where it goes?
Oh yeah, everything. Like I think getting married was one step. That there's little changes, and then the kid is a whole nother thing. And having a family and just getting older. I've kind of I came into the sport, young punk kid, like real young, and then now I feel like I've kind of matured with the sport of racing. So.
Yeah,
it's been cool. I feel like I think I've progressed over the years and gotten smarter racing, but and it's good and bad. In some ways, it helps, and in other ways, I feel like the racing nowadays, there's a lot of it's super aggressive, and these young guys are just hammered down, don't care at all. Will drive through a guy, and they're just balls out, and I feel like I'll be 35 here this year, but I feel like I kind of sometimes I'm a little too hesitant, and the way the sprint car racing is anymore, you can't be. You got to be balls out and ready to water up, and where I feel like that's maybe hurt me as I've matured. But yeah I don't know. It's crazy how long I've been doing it. It doesn't feel that long, so. Yeah, it's been 11 years now in a 410, so it's definitely doesn't feel that way.
That's for sure. When you said you're going to be 35, I just felt a little older because I remember when you was a lot younger.
Yeah, it's funny that you asked that question because I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the way I was going to word it is Trey, you and I remember Cody racing a little bit, and then Danny was young, and BJ. You guys were the young guys that were coming up, and then there's some of those guys don't race anymore. Like Brad. So you and Danny are carrying the torch at the basically probably the middle part of your career now.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, we're all getting older. Hell, I think Muma's in his 40s or something now. And
oh shit!
You
Danny
never
probably.
know.
Yeah, well, he's probably still in bed. He ain't gonna tune into this. But are you still working for Jimmy Poole? Are you still working for Jimmy?
Yep. Yeah, we work up here. It's just a couple miles down the road from me now. He bought Smithville Manufacturing too, so
he did.
He's doing really well, and the business is expanding, and he still helps me out with my sprint car stuff. He sponsors me, and Jimmy's great. He doesn't get to the racetrack as much anymore, but he had a little stint playing with the sprint car deal.
Yeah, that's what I was going to. I remember he helped me do some stuff, and some of my office work and some things I has his initials at the bottom. Where he'd help me did some paperwork and help me get on the right path. And I thought, man, he used to race, but that had to be 12, 13, 14 years ago, probably.
Yeah, it's been a while. That's how I got. Actually, I raced a 305 a year and a half, and then that's how I was able to start 410 racing. As Jimmy was getting out of it, and he sold me his engine. Actually, the first few nights I ran a 410, he just let me borrow it, and then that's how I was able to really make my first. Actually, my first night was at Wayne County, and he let me borrow his motor and came over and ran. And I think we got rained out after a heat race, but yeah, that's without him. Who knows? Like he was there. He gave me a killer deal on an engine, and yeah, he helped a ton. Or else, who knows if I would ever even been 410 racing. So
that's true.
Yeah, he's been a big help.
He's a good guy for sure.
Trey, we've asked some of the late model guys about the cost of racing. How do we get the younger generation into sprint cars? We've tried over the years 360s, 305s here and there, but like, how do we get the younger kids into racing, into sprint cars?
Yeah, it's tough. It takes a lot of money, and the 305 deal is good. I think the crate 305 deal is great. And like when I started, I did the Attica and Fremont Open 305s, which it's super competitive. Them guys are really good. There's some veterans that have raced and won a lot of 410 races,
Yes.
and then there's the young guys. But it's just tough because those engines are crazy expensive for what they're racing for. So I think there's no way of going back now, but I wish everybody would go to the crate deal because it's more affordable and you can race more places than just Attica and Fremont. But it's just tough because it's a stepping stone, but those 305 guys can't go up to Kistler's or go to Nagy Racing Products that my car owner owns. They can't go to these shops and say, "Oh, I'm buying a 305 right rear," or "I'm buying a 305 wing." It's all the same. So everything's expensive. So yeah, it's just hard. I don't know. I don't see the cost going down much, but it's just you got to have a lot of help, and that's all it comes down to. You got to have a lot of help and gather up a lot of resources to even get started anymore. So I'm not quite sure what the right answer is for getting more people involved. New cars keep showing up all the time, so I don't really know. It takes a lot to do it, and I think the 305 deal, in my opinion, is the best starting spot. 305s, because the 360 you're basically going to spend as much on a 360 as you are a 410. So I think 305 and 410 is ideal especially for here in Ohio.
Yeah.
Hey, Tara posted this question earlier this week. Tara Jacobs, if you could race with any of the Jacobs who have put laps on Wayne County Speedway's track in their prime, Grandpa Jacobs, Grandma Jacobs, Kenny, Bud, Dean, Cody, Lee, Race, RJ, and Garrett, who do you think would be your toughest competition and why?
Ooh. I think I've raced. I know I raced with Lee and my dad. I'm not sure if I ever raced the same time. I don't know if I ever was on a racetrack with Kenny. But I'd say Grandma Jacobs would be pretty cool. I know I've heard some good stories about her winning all this stuff, and she's hands down the backbone of the Jacobs family, and the racing deal. She was great, and her grandpa, either one. Back then, they didn't really have sprint cars, so it'd be a whole different deal. And yeah, like I say, it's pretty cool. I've got to race with Dad and Lee, and now Race and RJ. I never got to race with Garrett. Never got to race with my brother. But I've raced against my brother crewing on other cars, and they're usually kicking our ass. So, it'd be cool to get a match race together at some point again to, get us all out there in something to do a little exhibition.
Well, that's my next thing is you race sprint cars, but you've been in a modified. I know that you would run for,
Larry
Reed.
Yeah.
And so are you open? Are you stuck in the sprint car world because you were born and raised in it, or are you open to different forms of cars?
Yeah, no, I'll try anything. Like the modified deal was fun. It was just something different, and I really want to race a late model, but I just haven't like gotten the opportunity really yet to get in one. And I'm open to driving really anything. I just want to make sure it's, like the modified deal kind of came up out of the blue. I was at Rich Carter's shop one day, just hanging out, and Larry Reed came in there and knows my family. He's like, hell, I got modifieds, and you could drive it one night, and it just, yeah, out of nowhere. So that was fun. It was hard to do, hard to learn, but yeah, I'm open to doing anything. The sprint cars at the end of the day is what I would want to do all the time.
Right.
I don't see myself getting in a late model and racing every week, but who knows?
Is it the family legacy, or is it just your preference? I mean, just like you just really enjoy the sprint car aspect of it. The open wheel deal is just what you're comfortable in.
Yeah, sprint car deal is fun. I don't know. Like I said, I want to try a late model. Like I think it could be a lot of fun, but I don't know anything about them cars. There's a lot to them cars, a lot more than a sprint car. Sprint cars are pretty simple, and
Right.
I think it would take a lot more resources for me to be good in a late model than in the sprint car deal. I would need a lot of people around me that know what they're doing with the car.
Yeah.
So it'd be hard. But yeah, the sprint car deal is winged sprint cars is. That's just what I've done, so it's easier to me. The non-wing deal is fun here and there, but ultimately, I think the wing sprint car is where I'll be racing
Yeah.
most.
Okay.
Trey, Jeff Kepling says, I hated to see you crash like that at Mansfield. You were definitely putting on a show until the mishap.
Yeah, yeah, that was a bummer. It was fun. Like I said, getting driven through in the first corner kind of sucked going to the back, but I was driving like an angry idiot, really, and kind of passing, a handful of cars a lap. So it made it pretty fun for a while, and then I just got caught up at the end. So you'll have that.
Gary Schaub says, I'm a big Trey Jacobs fan. Glad to see him on the show.
Oh yeah, I appreciate you.
Yeah. So when you come to Wayne County, and you've come a lot more in the last few years, I would say, and you've had some success, a lot of success, really. But like you're a fan favorite, like people, your family, obviously the history with the family there and stuff. Like, do you get up like when you're there? Do you feel like more people autograph and chit chat? Like it's just more of a home feel for you, or is it just locked in business as usual?
Yeah, it's gotten that way. I think there's a lot of people that like to see me at home, and like now there's people I went to high school with. Like I went to high school at West Holmes, so it's like right close to home, and like I got people I went to high school with that show up, and my wife's family. She was at Patterson's. Nick Patterson's her cousin, so he raced there
Okay.
for years. So like her whole family's around, and so yeah, like we just have a lot of family and friends around that come to the racetrack. So yeah, it's cool like showing up. I think and her with like the t-shirt thing and past years and whatnot like has helped out a lot, and like she's a lot more personable than I am probably at the racetrack. I'm usually focused on racing. I don't know. I come off, yeah, I probably come off like everybody thinks I'm pissed off all the time, and I only am half the time. So I don't know. It's yeah, but at Wayne County, like it's cool. It's definitely like a home game all the time, and it makes it fun. It's relaxing, It helps you kind of chill a little bit.
Makes the day easier. You don't have to leave as early to get there, and you can be home quicker, back in your own bed. And
Oh yeah,
but your brother's been super successful on the national tour. I mean, I think he's crew chief of the year multiple times on the Outlaw Tour. And do you lean on him for advice? Is he a guy that you call all the time? Like, hey man, what's going on, the latest and greatest in the world? Is that something you do?
not really. I mean, here and there, like when we're struggling, like I'll ask him, but a lot of them guys, he's as good as he is. I think, like he helps me. Don't get me wrong, but the
Right.
guys that are as good as he is, keep a lot of stuff really close, and they don't tell anybody some of the things they're doing. So, and that's why they're that good. So,
right.
But he'll help out here and there. But at the same time, like their cars are different, engines are different. A lot of their stuff's different. So there's been times where we've gone to tracks. Like if I'm going to a track I haven't ran a whole lot, where I'll ask him, basically kind of get a base of where we start out. And there's been times we've been really good, and then there's times where he'll tell me what he does to that 2 car, and I'll try to do it to my car, and David's lapping me. So it's just it's a whole different deal. But yeah, like he'll help. He'll help when he can, but it's I don't know. I don't think he lets off too many of his speed secrets.
Now they don't have very many off weekends, but has there ever been a time, or will there be a time where maybe he'd be back home here and go racing with you? Does that happen often?
Nah, I think he's worked on my car one time, and that was like when I very first started. I think he went to Attica with me, and that was before he was on the road. That would have been he was probably working for Schaeff or somebody. So, nah, he was home. Like they were home this past week. Actually, their rig was in Worcester, and his tire guy and his car chief came along with my dad to Fremont on the Tuesday. So they were hanging around, weren't really working on my car, just kind of giving a little bit of input here and there. And but they were there. But now Cody, he had the time off, so I feel like when he gets a little bit of time off, he's not spending his off time at a racetrack. He's hanging out with his girlfriend, and actually enjoying not being at work.
Does he live here still? Does he carry a residence?
Yeah, him and his girlfriend live in Millersburg, so they're right close to home. But their shop is out in Sioux Falls, so they have a house out there. His boss that he puts all them up in, their shop has like an apartment in it, so he splits time between Millersburg and out in Sioux Falls.
Okay, go ahead.
Justin Cranmore says Trey Jacobs in a 4-cylinder.
If I'm at Wayne County racing the sprint car and it's just a regular show, not like an all-star race or anything but if it's just a regular show and I'm at Wayne County and somebody has one that I know seat is bolted in there nice and not zip tied in, and
we got ratchet straps.
If it's a safe piece and I'm there racing my sprint car, I'd jump in one. I don't know how the front wheel drive thing would work. Might plow her in the fence, but I'd try.
They seem to drive just like you guys do. They go into turn 1, they don't lift, and it just, instead of steering with the back end, they just push like a dump truck, bounce off the wall, and keep going. So, it's pretty crazy. They do. They love it when the sprint cars go first, because you guys put that big old cushion up there, and then them guys can just, it's like a sand trappy. They go in there and just get in there and bounce off and go. But so that might be something we could do. Somebody just posted on there. Maybe we get all the Jacobs that we can into some 4-cylinders and just have a match race one night.
That'd be fun.
That would be entertaining.
Hell, Kenny's still racing a little mini sprint or something. He's 70 or 71 years old, so he might jump on. Who knows?
Yeah, that would be cool. Something to look into.
Slide Job Podcast says the truth, and so Trey, you kind of have that reputation of being brash and just tell it how it is. Where did that come from? I mean, is that something that you get from your dad, or where did that come from?
Yeah, I'd say our whole, I don't know, me and my dad and my brother, I think are all kind of, I don't know, good or bad. Sometimes I think I'd struggle at, if something's, it's pretty rare. I think people are wondering what's on our mind. So
that's a good way of putting it. I like it.
Yeah. So sometimes it is probably super ignorant, when you catch us in a, pissed off state or really emotional state. But we kind of wear our heart on our sleeve, I think. And that's just kind of things come off. I like to think as I've gotten older, I've gotten a little bit better at that. But sometimes it still, comes out.
Yeah, I think that's the passion in you, but
passionate. I would
passion.
Say
I think passion is the word.
Well, and it's mostly at a racetrack. I like to think outside of a racetrack, I'm pretty calm, but it's just we come out of like we're out there in a sprint car. Everything's so intense. You're running the thing hard, and then something like you'll never catch someone more emotional or passion, like you said, like than right as soon as they climb out of a race car. Most time you give me 20, 30 minutes, I'll chill out, but it's like it's just all the adrenaline. You don't have time to think, and then when things stop, there's so much shit going on. So it's pretty wild.
I seem to remember a situation. I think it was it your brother and something at Attica, and then your dad got wrecked and it went sideways in Victory Lane.
I don't know. There was once at Fremont. We had
Fremont.
Bad shit for Ryan.
I think it's really cool to see what Cody's doing now, to see where he's at now, and then to remember how he was. I think it's just a really neat thing to see.
Yeah, we've had. Yeah, that's what my wife just said. We're all wired different. I think some of the wires crossed somewhere, but we. There was an instance at Fremont. That's funny. I'm not afraid to talk about it now. Hell, actually, we're good buddies now. But you're probably thinking of Greg Wilson crashed Dad coming for the checkered at Fremont, and all hell broke loose in the pits, and I got my hands on him, and my brother, and everybody, and we ended up getting into a little scuffle, and it was an all out ordeal, and that was actually then. It just so happened at the end of that year. A guy from Mansfield, that's when I was able to start racing 305s, and my dad was driving it, but at Fremont, but at Attica, they wouldn't let you run double duty at the time. So he approached me, and I was like, oh yeah, you gotta see if I can drive that thing one night. And I never raced anything in my life. I just went to the races with Dad. So I got a ride, but I could only run Attica on Fridays because I wasn't allowed in Fremont for the rest of the year after that ordeal. So that's kind of how that went.
Yeah, we've all had those moments. But so all-star races at Wayne County are always a big deal. The Pete Jacobs in the fall is the crown jewel, I think, and we're trying. I think it is on the all-star schedule too. If you look at it, it's one of their crown jewels, and it's going to only get bigger. But like, I know you want to win that one bad, but like when you come to the county, like. You've gotten really good over there. I know you've had a lot of bad luck, tire flats, wrecks. You've had a lot of things go on. But, like, when you come there, do you like it? Is it one of your favorite tracks to go to? Or is it just like, well, my family built the damn place. I got to go. Is it a mindset, or do you actually enjoy coming there?
No, it's by far, I think, especially in the past few years, my favorite. For whatever reason, over the past 3 or 4 years, I've kind of struggled. Like Attica was my place. Like I felt like I got around real well, and we were able to win a track championship there, and was really good. And then recently, it's just all like Wayne County seems like out of all places, I know I can go back there, and I'm usually pretty close on most nights. So it's by far. It's just I don't know. It's one of them places that I feel like if you get your car close, you can hustle and like really it takes a lot of driver, more so like you get to some racetracks and I think it's more of a mechanics track, and I think Wayne County is definitely a driver's track where you can just it's that little bit of running her into the corner a little bit harder and just it's one of them places sometimes I think the less you think and just the more you just run the hell out of the thing, the better you are. So I love it. I love coming there. I love the all-star races there. It's just haven't been able to win one yet. We've had a lot of bad luck, and we come close last year. I think like with the Nagy 28N car, we were both all-star races at the end of the year. We were quick time. We ran up front. The Pete Jacobs, unfortunately, we had left fuel line loose before the feature and had to go to the tail, but was still able to get back to the top 5. And we've been good knocking on the door. I just hopefully we can pick off one of these all-star shows there. Hopefully this Sunday.
Hopefully Sunday. I think it would be good. I think it's good for the track too. Like like the history, the generations after generations. It's cool to see Lee got his first All-Star win there. I know he did, and then with race racing now. But I mean, I think it would be good. It would almost be as epic as you remember the night Sheldon won that Outlaw show during COVID, and they about burnt the damn place down. You know what I mean? So the people around here are very passionate, and I think there's a huge Jacobs and Hot and Shield following for sure. I mean, I think the roots go deep. And do you feel that when you're there? Do you feel like the energy level when you're out there?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's cool. Like, and of all the places around here, I feel like the local crowds there are usually pretty good. Like compared to there's nights where we race at Attica. I remember winning races at Attica and at Fremont. Like I've won a race and like you get up and like you're celebrating. There's hardly anybody there. So, but like Wayne County, like you guys seem to get good crowds and they're like really vocal and they're just pumped up. Like they get amped up and it's cool. I really look forward to coming there as much as we can. It's always a lot of fun. So the All-Star deal, hopefully, able to have a good showing there when them guys are in town. And I'm hoping you guys can, put on more bigger and bigger shows, and it'd be nice to eventually get the Outlaws back there. That night when Sheldon won, that was crazy. I remember going up just to try to watch. I think I was in the second flight of qualifying, and I walked up there with another driver and we couldn't even find a place to sit down and watch. Like, it was crazy.
That might have been, I don't know if we can ever duplicate the scenario with COVID and like that had rained out and we got a rescheduled date and it was just, it all lined up. And that was, the atmosphere was almost, I don't know if I can ever feel that again, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, well.
Lindsay says she loves talking to Trey's wife at the track. She's the sweetest person ever.
Yeah, it's crazy. She wound up with me.
Well, so Trey, I was at the Career Center doing stuff with the police academy, and we had I want to say it was maybe for the high schoolers or something, where some people came in and ended up being your wife was kind of chaperoning and ended up start talking to her, and she did a phenomenal job with the kids that she was working with, and it was pretty cool. And she, I don't know how Wayne County Speedway came up, and she goes, "I'm Trey Jacobs' wife," and so we started laughing, but she did a good job. You are very lucky.
Oh yeah, she's a case manager there. She works for Goodwill Industries, so she's in and out of the schools, working with the youth. So yeah, it's pretty awesome what she does on a daily basis. So yeah, she's like I said, I don't know, she must have bumped her head or something, but she somehow found a liking to me.
Yeah, well, looks like you're doing well. Like I said, you've come so long way, and I think we all have. We were all young, and but just kind of you and I got the racetrack, and you were talking like being that young punk kid, and I think we kind of matured and come up the ranks at the same time, and so here we are. You're winning races, and I'm still promoting races, and we're doing a talk show. Like here we are.
Yeah.
So we made it.
Trey, what would it mean to you to win the P. Jacobs Memorial?
Oh, that's the biggest race for me. Like I know there's big races. There's a lot of big races throughout the year, but that's just been one that over the past handful of years, basically once I started winning some races that I kind of like, once I got it in my head I could win this thing, that's like the one race that every year that I want to win more than any other one. And we've come super close a couple times. There was the one year it was like non-sanctioned, and I forget what the whole ordeal was, but it was non-sanctioned, I remember, and there wasn't a lot of cars there, and I started last and got to third, and then there's a couple years I've crashed running good, and we've just been close. Last year I feel like I had as good a shot as anybody, and like I said, we just made a mistake and left the fuel line loose when we changed the pill, pushing out for the feature, so we had to go to the back, but still able to come back top five. I don't know. I think sometimes I put a little bit extra pressure on myself going into that night just because I want to win that race so badly that yeah, trying to go into it this year just like it's any other regular weekly deal, and as long as we do our job and have no mistake, no hiccups throughout the night, I think we could do it. So that would mean the world to me. I already got it. I've played it out in my head like countless times, like the taking the checkered flag, what I'm gonna do after I win. It's I win that race, and we're gonna be partying. Like I'm going up in the stands. Somebody else is gonna have to drive my car to the pits, and I'm going up straight to the stands, and we're drinking beer.
I like it
until you turn the lights off.
I like it. I do. I think that's the passion. That's what. Then you talk about the fans, and I think that's the connection between the fans is they can sense your excitement, and I think that's what you seen that night with Sheldon. I think it was just like holy shit, the place was epic, and I think if you was to win that race and do those things, it would be as close as we're gonna get to that.
Yeah, I hope so. Hopefully we can make it happen. That's right now. Hopefully we can win this. What is it, Rick Susong Memorial?
Yeah, and you knew Rick. Rick died a few years ago, and he was a big supporter. And I knew when I was racing late models, Fisher Performance was always around. But he's been gone for a while, and it's just when you start looking at these races we're doing and putting people's names on them, it's like, man, I can't believe Rick's been gone that many years, and the influence he had on a lot of young racers. I remember Moomaw cutting trees down up at Rick's place for parts and pieces just to keep going. But Rick was a good dude, and it's an honor to put his name on a race. But every All-Star race, though, I think is huge at the county. You got the Duffy Smith for Speed Week, and there's a lot of history and a lot of personal stuff. You knew Duffy as well, and it's just like they all have a meaning. But I think that Jacobs race, like you'd be the first Jacobs to win that thing, and like that would be bragging rights at the Thanksgiving dinner table.
Yeah, it'd be good. That would be real big. Hopefully we can get her done. Like I said, every year it's crazy. There's so many big races throughout the year, and I run these bigger shows like the Brad Doty Classic obviously would be huge, and like all these other, but like I don't like showing up to any race and like feeling like I don't have a shot of winning, but I feel like of all the big races, that Pete Jacobs Memorial is like the one where I know I can win, and like I know I have a good shot. These other ones, like I could show up to the King's Royal this year, and do I expect to win? Fuck, probably not. Like, but like that's the one race I think I feel like we get around the county as good as anybody, and I think the guys who've raced there a lot have a big advantage on the all-star guys, or even if you get some random traveler guys come in that haven't raced there a lot, it's a tough place to get around, and us guys that have raced there a lot are comfortable enough to drive the thing how you need to win that race. So I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to it every year. That's a fun weekend. Usually there's 2 all-star races at Attica the 2 nights before, and it's just a long fun weekend where there's a lot of money, and it's usually 3 big races capped off with that one. So
well, this year you got we're doing the Saturday Sunday deal. Me and John have traded this year, so it's Friday at Attica, and then we're going Saturday Sunday at the county. So you get a little test and tune maybe on Saturday.
That's even better. That sounds good to me. I kind of forgot about that, actually. Now that you bring that up, I do remember seeing that on the All-Star schedule, that now it's 2 nights. So, go ahead, Ryan.
Trey, you mentioned earlier about racing with some of your family members. You said you got to race with your dad. What does it mean to you now that you look back? Your dad isn't really racing. What did it mean to you to be able to race with your dad?
Yeah, it was cool. The first race, I think my first ever sprint car win at Wayne County was at Wayne County. I'm pretty sure he ran second, so that's pretty cool.
I remember that.
He ran second or third, or something. He might have been second, but there was a lot of them nights. Like you don't really think about it when it's going on, and then I knew going into 2021, he said that was going to be his last year because that was 40 for him, and he was about over it and had some health issues, and I knew he was going to be out of it. So that year, more so than others, I kind of knew, like, it's just something you think about whenever you roll onto the track, and if you get to racing with him, you just know that's not going to happen very long. And yeah, it was cool. Any pictures that we have and any little video stuff like when I was racing with him is pretty neat. Not a lot of guys get to do that, so it's cool. And then now, like, I never thought I'd be racing with Lee's boy, and now I'm doing it. So now I'm the old one, and now that RJ's not racing anymore, and Lee's not racing anymore, now I'm like the old one at only 34. So it's kind of crazy how that works.
Definitely tables have turned. But hey, so you talked about your t-shirt stuff. So your wife will be behind the grandstands this weekend selling shirts. Can you get your apparel anywhere else? Tell the fans, can you get it online or anything, or just strictly at the racetrack?
We have a website, but I don't have any shirts made this year.
No.
We haven't. We've kind of been slacking on that.
Okay.
The past couple years have been kind of a whirlwind of driving, 100 different race cars and not really sure what we're doing. And so we kind of dragged our feet on the t-shirt thing this year. I think we'll probably get something done, but yeah, we have shop TreyJacobsRacing.com. I don't know if we have any old stuff on there or not, but yeah, we run that deal. And as soon as we get, I've had a ton of people asking about shirts and whatnot, and she's done a good job with that. I've just been kind of hesitant, to get another shirt design done, just because, you never know when you're a hired gun. Right. Sometimes you're hired one week and fired the next, so it sucks being stuck with all that merchandise.
Yeah. Well, this weekend when you're there, I mean, you'll sign anything. They can bring Wayne County Speedway apparel or whatever, and you'll be approachable. So
yeah, I got hero cards and we got all kinds of stuff. I look forward to seeing everybody.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you, Ryan. You got anything? Got some comments?
Couple things. My AP says my boy Trey. Trey, the last things I was going to ask you, Cody, was talking a little bit, pretty vocal about the safety of the cars, a few weeks ago. Like what do you think is going on with the safety of these sprint cars and these guys doing these little tip overs and breaking their backs and stuff? We talked to Cale a little bit about it earlier, and but Cody was pretty vocal. Like, what do you think is going on with it?
Yeah, I think my brother's spot on. I think there's a lot of things. I don't think there's like ill intent or anything, but like guys, I think guys are trying to, come up with a lot of safety stuff to get rid of it, but I think we're getting too far. They're doing too much that isn't really helping. I mean, clearly, like we look at, back in the day, guys would crash and this wasn't happening. So obviously we've gotten all this safety stuff involved that is almost doing the opposite, I think. And I personally, I don't run a seat. I don't have a seat insert. I have run a Hans device, which is like the oldest head and neck thing. I don't have a chasm system. I don't have monkey bars. I don't have none of that stuff that's supposedly supposed to help this back issue. It sucks. It's entered my mind for the first time, I think, ever, going into like this year. I watched the video Chase Johnson put out, and that was really hard to watch for somebody that drives race cars. The part at the I had to turn it off whenever it got to the onboard stuff with him, kind of screaming that he can't feel his legs and whatnot. But yeah, it enters your mind, but we're still doing it, so it doesn't really deter me from driving a race car and driving a race car as hard as I can. It's unfortunate what's going on, and I think, sometimes I think we need to take a little bit of a step back, and maybe you do need to move around a little bit in the seat and not be so locked in, and maybe we need to make these race cars not so rigid. Like I said, there's been a big knock on Triple X cars over the years. Like somebody will crash a car and there will be pictures of it on the internet, and all these people will be like, oh, look at this junk China shit, it's bending and whatnot. Well, if I crash my ass off, I hope that race car bends in half, because if it doesn't bend, I'm feeling all that. So
absorb that energy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the right answer. Hell, if I was smart enough to figure all that out, I probably wouldn't be driving them. But it's just, I don't know. It sucks that this is happening because, like, you watch all the wrecks where these guys are getting hurt and they're not hard wrecks at all. And so
Right.
something's going on. Somebody's got to figure it out. And, I just think, yeah, we've, like my brother said, engineered ourselves into a problem. And sometimes, you get all the big brains together and there isn't a whole lot of common sense going on. So hopefully,
right there.
yeah, hopefully they get shit figured out because it's scary, for a guy like me, the level I'm racing at, local, regional, whatever you call it, it's not my full-time job. I work a job like most of us do, and I just race on the weekends for a little supplemental income. But if I get hurt, then I'm out of work, and then it would just I can't afford for that shit to happen. So it's scary. It's scary to think about. I've thought about it more this year than ever, but like I said, we keep doing it, and I like to think that I do all my stuff right. I make sure that when I put my seat in the car, it's in there right. I make sure that the torque tube and rear end can't come up and get the bottom of my seat when I mount it. And it's just all those little things I think that we can do. I'm confident that when I put my seat in a car, I'm taking every step that I can to make sure that stuff doesn't happen. So if it does happen, then I won't have that guilty conscience like, oh, I looked this over, or I cut corners here or there. It's just, it is what it is. It's a dangerous sport. I think it's unfortunate these guys getting hurt.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's interesting to me. I think it's something that it's interesting, but you don't want to see anybody get hurt. But racing is inherently dangerous.
Yeah, it sucks, and it's crazy. Like in Wayne County, especially, I've crashed my ass off. I sailed her off into the cornfield one night, deep.
Yes, you did.
And I have crashed my ass off, and you get out and you're fine. But sometimes in these cars, it is like the little tip overs and you land hard, and it's like, damn, that hurt. I was driving a guy's car out of Sandusky at the beginning of the year last year, and I crashed at Attica on opening night, and it was just might have flipped once, maybe 1.5 times, and when it landed, I was like, shit, that hurt. I felt it for a while, and I don't know, it's something going on, these little Tommy tip overs that is hurting everybody. And I don't know, maybe they'll make a change nationwide here in the coming years. I see some things coming, possibly, with the way we mount our seats, the angle and whatnot. But till then, I do as much as I can to make sure I'm safe. And I got a family to come home to, and I got to be able to walk and perform my daily tasks to keep this roof over our heads. So
For sure.
I'm doing what I can.
Trey, who makes it all possible for you?
With my own car, my dad does it all, and then sponsors are Holmes Cheese, my wife's Uncle Brian, Aunt Leah. They help us out a ton, and they actually have a daughter that's going to be racing here at the county this year soon. She got a 305. I think she's going to come run her 305 with us just to get some laps in. So that'll be interesting and exciting. And my father-in-law, Corey, with Bergen Insurance, and my boss, Jimmy Pooler, with Vibe ISO, Smithville Manufacturing. And then the 28N guys, they have a lot of help. Nagy's Performance Racing Products. He has a speed shop in Findlay, creating a little bit of competition for sprint car guys. We love Kistler's and everything, but now we have another option. You can go get parts at Nagy Performance Race Products. He's stocked up, has about everything you need to build a race car, and Nagy equipment sales, interstate truck repair, Findlay pallet, Miller's custom rods and vets. There's a lot of people that help out, big or small, and it takes a lot of people right now when you're paying, paying for fuel prices and then our tires and engines and everything. It takes a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, go out and support those people. I always tell people, all these sponsors and marketing partners, these race car teams, people sometimes think that they're just names on a car. But hey, if you need something, go get that. And I do like the competition. When Kears went out, when Shirley, retired or whatever, it is good. It is good to have other options. And maybe Paul doesn't have something, and Nagy's will have it, and it's in a different location. So it's all good.
Yeah. That's really the main source of advertisement is the race car. So just trying to get the word out to people. He has a lot of stuff, and really anything that you need sprint car wise, he has it right there in Findlay. So if you're local to here, Wayne County car, it's no further to go to Findlay than it is to Fremont. So hoping to get that part business rolling, get them moving stuff out the door.
Yep. Well, I appreciate it. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. I knew it'd be good. A lot of history. I look forward to seeing you Sunday for sure, and see you in Victory Lane possibly. That'd be great.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, I guess nobody else has got to turn laps there yet this year, so we're all on an even playing field. So hopefully Mother Nature plays nice.
We'll see. Eventually she's got to give a little bit. Damn, man. But yeah, I mean, we haven't had a full-blown race on it yet, so prepping it and stuff, we're still, obviously we're playing around as much as anybody, but I think we're going to run Saturday some support class stuff, so maybe get a little worked in before we get you guys on our Sundays, the goal. And we got a new telemetry system and some other improvements. We want to make sure everything works good too. So, but either way, we'll be ready to go for Sunday when you roll in there.
Hell yeah, I look forward to it.
Thanks a lot, Trey. We appreciate you coming on, man.
Yep, no problem. I appreciate it.
Dude, what a show, man.
Yeah.
What a show.
Yeah, two good sprint car drivers on tonight. I know it went long. I was looking at the timer, and we kept good.
Did you stay awake?
Yeah. Listen, the safety stuff is, I'm always concerned about safety, but I don't understand the ins and outs of sprint car safety. But it's good to have two sprint car drivers on her. I got educated on a few things, and I'm just excited to. Trey's a big deal for me as a promoter and owner of the racetrack, like the family of ties to, like that's a good deal for me. And then Cale, of course, for the All-Stars coming, like it's cool to talk to those guys. But yeah, we had a good show. We had breaking news in the beginning of it with what we're going to do next week, and check out Facebook and WayneCountySpeedway.com for all the up-to-date information. But like, yeah, I mean, I know they go long. I've had people tell me like, hey, shorten them up or whatever, but there was a lot of information tonight, and I thought the interview was good.
Yeah, we can't get you to stop talking.
Yeah, it's not always me. But yeah, listen, I could talk all day, but then we watch the number up here fall when I talk. But no, I'm excited about next weekend. Chip, man, I'm tired of talking about the weather, so I'm ready to go racing. So, long week ahead, Memorial Day weekend next weekend. So just remember while you have that Monday off. I tell people, just remember it's not just a holiday to cook and drink and have a good time. Remember the people that give up the sacrifice for us to have that day. And if you want to spend the holiday weekend with Wayne County Speedway, Saturday, Sunday be the place to be if you want to catch me.
Yeah. Did you want to hit camping for the World of Outlaw race?
Yeah. So if you're coming to the Lone Wolf 40 on Thursday, 28th camping, we need you to get a hold of us on Facebook. I had a couple people call me this week. We just need to know your name, your phone number, and the size of your camper, and then we will assign you a camping spot when you pull in that day. We get all your information. We'll make sure you get parked in a spot that fits your rig. We're going to be very organized on that. We'll have people parking haulers or parking campers and RVs. So we're going to try to be more organized. No awnings on race day. So
I saw somebody was a little, I know. But then they explained it and they said, "Oh, okay, I understand."
Parking lot's tight, and hey, once the races are over and people want to go, and if you want to camp there before you head over to Mansfield to watch the big one on what is that, Friday, Saturday, have the awning out. But we just need you to cooperate. It's what it takes. I'm sorry, but I mean, big shows can happen. It takes a lot of the neighborhood to participate to make these shows happen. So, listen, we're very accommodating, and look forward to seeing everybody there. A lot of racing going to happen in the next 2 weeks at the county, and I can't believe we're at the end of May, but we are. And my biggest thing would be to tell you people that if you're going camping, that's great. I love camping too, right? But Henthorn Golf Sales, go get you a new electric golf cart if you're going to the campground. Talk to my buddy Chris and Lindsay, and they'll hook you up with the best quality and they're pretty cool. So go tell them you heard it on Turn 2 Talk.
And they have good prices. Like, to be real.
There's nobody going to beat their prices. No. I mean, talk to Lindsay. Don't talk to Chris.
Like, their prices are legit. Like, I was looking at some, and 100% those prices are legit. Yeah. Slide Job Podcast, Ryan says, great work, fellas. Appreciate you both. Yeah. Appreciate you tuning in, Ryan.
And we are going to have, Deb wants to bring back the Pete Jacob Memorial T-shirts. We are going to have event shirts this year. We're not going to be ready to go we are so far behind because of the rainouts but we plan on having some event shirts, Deb. So yes, we like to see people just come and buy the shirts we have, but you know what happens? we haven't been open to sell these shirts. So maybe this weekend it's going to be nice. Is it going to rain? Who knows? I'd say no, but the weather, it's 80 today. I'm wearing shorts today, Ryan. So
am I allowed to wear shorts tomorrow?
No. That's not proper work attire, but I see Nick's on here. He's ready for the season to start too. So, hey, I see the numbers are dropping because I'm a yakking and nobody wants to hear me because I can go on all day. So I thought the show was good. I appreciate bringing 2 superstar guests on. Thought it was one of the best, and it didn't have no audio fails.
Yes. Did you like the format with one driver early and then one driver late?
Yeah, I still, like I told you earlier, and I'll tell everybody, I like coming on, talking a little bit, leading into where we're going. It'd be nice to have a commercial in the middle because if I have to use the restroom, or my voice gets really hoarse, so I want to drink something, but I don't want to be doing it on camera. So, but listen, you're doing a great job. The audio was fantastic this week. You tried some stuff and you went back to what works, and I think it's great. And I think people are tuned in. You've seen it was a good show, and we'll give you. Hey, listen, all my racetracks aren't superstar racetracks, so I get you, man.
This was last week was the Stairmaster.
That's what I was thinking. Not everybody will understand that comment, but yeah, you get your mulligan out of the way, dude. It's cool. You do a good job, and thank you, Steph Pearson, for being the sponsor of the show. Because without her, none of this is possible.
You crack me up. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. There's things I wanted to talk about. Dude, I saw Kyle Figley, and we were going to talk about making changes in the lay models I wanted to ask you about. We don't have time for this, so we'll have to hit this in another show. We don't know if we're going to be on next week because we're racing on Sunday. Yeah, so if we record a show and run it, or we'll just be off and be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe we'll record at lunch tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, we can do that.
Yeah, so. But it was a good show. Good job, Ryan.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in turn 2.